GMC 2500. I got it for 1,200 bucks. Originally I was just gonna flip it, get it running. It sat for about 8 years. So what I'm planning on doing now is restoring it. We're gonna plan on doing some paint, some body work, do all this trim again. We're gonna do tires, lift, radio, seat, driver door, tail lights, and a transmission. We're hopefully gonna get a manual SM 465, swap that over, hydraulic clutch. The problem is they're pretty hard to find where I'm at. So we're gonna be probably doing that last. It still runs and drives. The TH350 is just tired and worn out, and I do not want to rebuild an automatic transmission. I'd rather just put manual transmission in this thing. So it's a GMC Sierra Grande, and it has a 350 small block. It has the TH350 transfer case or transmission. I'm going to be switching the transfer case with the transmission. What we're going to do with the lift is just a 6-inch lift, probably some 37s, maybe some 40s, depending on how I like it sitting once we get the lift on there. The interior is in pretty good shape. I think I'm going to do maybe some Dakota Digital gauges. Definitely do a retrofit radio with a small subwoofer in the back. The driver door has the most damage to it. I'm going to try to do LMC Trucks rekit on that door and try to get it matching the other door. Other than the gauge bezel and that driver door, interior, pretty good shape. Seat has one of those saddle seat covers on it. I'm just going to get the reupholster kit from LMC Truck they have. Probably do a velour so you're not sticking to it. We're going to keep the axles and drivetrain other than the transmission. And then a lot of the work that we're going to put into this thing is going to be body work and paint and trim and just making it look nice. The main goal of this, fucking spiders. The main goal of this is to get it car show ready. Kind of like a 2020 where it's 20 feet away, driving 20 miles an hour, it looks aight. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the plan. Shine her up, get her going, get her lifted, make it look good. We'll pull it out here in a second and kind of get a little 360 view of it, how it sits right now. I did a little body work already, but fuck you, I didn't record it, so we'll get to that later. All right. So this is the state she's in now. Paint's fading. Trim's all messed up. Front end's not too bad trim-wise. This side's the side that needs the most body work. There, down there, over there, there, all along there. All this is old Bondo that I gotta fix. All these got to come off. Might put a toolbox back here. And then this guy was where the old panel was pushed in. So I just chopped this out. You're supposed to let these cool and weld them slow, but I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna straighten this out right here. You can see right there, right there, right there. And then this is right in here, all needs to be pulled back out, but that's doable. I mean, with the rest of it how it is, I'm gonna have to do work anyway, so might as well do more work. So when it comes to lifts, I've done a few. I'm no sexpert by any means, but I've done a few. So usually the biggest problem you have with doing a lift is the front end, because it has the most moving components. And a lot of times with your newer pickups that have 8-arm suspension or twin traction beam with the Ranger and the Bronco, there's a lot more components that go into doing a lift. Luckily, hopefully, on this truck, it's a solid axle front and rear, so it'll be pretty smooth. I say that, I'm praying, I'm hoping, we'll see. Got a new steering arm, so hopefully that'll keep the steering geometry the same, so we hopefully won't have to get an alignment. I might need one when I start driving it around when I get the new wheels and tires on it, but I guess we'll see. Now, when it comes to lifts, I'm not going to teach you how to do it. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through, kind of give you little snippets of what I'm doing, kind of show you some things if we find anything broken or we find anything worn down or anything along the way that we have to fix or that should be fixed. We'll kind of go over that and then obviously follow along the process with that of fixing it or replacing it or whatever we have to do. So start on the front end, so we'll get that lifted up into the air and we'll start taking everything apart. All right, now that we got the front end jacked up, we can start taking the wheels off, kind of dig in, see what we got going on back here. Good Lord, that was annoying. So, first thing to go, shocks. Second thing to go, shit, did they send us long enough brake lines? I don't even know if we got brake lines. Wow. Might have to relocate those brake lines. Maybe they sent us brackets to relocate them. Now we got to take these shocks off. Get this this side of the axle supported. Obviously, when you do a lift, your axle, this is at full droop right now. The whole front end's off the ground. No pressure pushing back on the axle. I got it supported on the frame back here. You're not going to be able to get your tires back on, obviously, because instead of being here, they're going to be down here, right? Or 6-inch, The axle's going to be on the floor, because it's a huge lift and I got a tiny wiener. What you're going to have to do is put your springs in with your axle completely wheelless, tireless, and then jack each side up one at a time, put your wheels on, and then you can set it all down together. One thing we will be deleting, sway bar. I fucking hate sway bars. Kind of just continued along because I didn't care. And we got the leaf spring disconnected. Now, this sway bar is built into the upper spring mount, and it had this little plastic dealie in there. I am not going to reuse that because, for one, I'm lazy, and for two, I have no idea if the other side is in good shape too. I mean, this one's okay. I'm sure it would work okay, but I don't think these things have been apart since it got put together at the factory. So I'm going to start disconnecting the sway bar, put maybe a jack stand on this side, and jack up the other side of the axle so I can get some separation in here. I'm not sure if these come with new uppers or not, but either way, this sway bar has got to go, and that's going to be fairly interesting to do.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, world seems small, we can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you from a distance in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. Distance you can tell. To be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So far, we've got the lift done. I'll kind of go over, throw some clips in here of the parts of the lift, and you know, the only thing that was really a pain in the ass on this lift was the sway bar. It's just a really big bolt that goes in through that, so you just make sure you gotta have that socket.
You have a sway bar?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Sway bars are for pussies. But yeah, to take that out, you have to undo it from the top of the spring mount. So the part that goes on top of the spring that clamps down the springs onto your axle has it's like a cast piece instead of just a regular metal piece on the back. The rear, super fast, no problem there. As of right now, I haven't put the shocks on yet, but that's not important because well, I just don't care. We'll do the shocks later. We're gonna throw these tires on. We got some 37s, some Yokohamas. Can't remember what, I think they're Geolanders. Something like that. They're mud terrain tires on some 17-inch method wheels, custom painted by CJC Off-Road. So we're gonna toss those on and yeah, get it rolling. All right, so this is the new leaf spring on the front here. There's the other one, obviously. So this is the cast parts that I was talking about. They're like cast iron. They got a hole drilled in them and tapped for that sway bar. You can see I'm obviously leaking ATF right there, which we'll just ignore that. But for the front, there's that. And then, oh yeah, the only other thing that was a real pain in the ass was the steering. This steering arm, I guess is what you could call it. This steering arm was a huge pain in the ass. It's got these wedge style washers here, and they do not like to come out when haven't been out since the truck was put together. So that was a huge pain in the ass. Everything else bolted up really fast. I mean, this bolts up and gets a cotter pin, and then the drop brackets were kind of annoying. It's kind of a stupid way you have to do it. I might have ruined that brake line, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. The rear, pretty quick. You just unbolt your old leaf spring, bolt your new leaf spring back in. This didn't come with a rear sway bar, so we didn't have to worry about that. I guess the only thing that was kind of annoying with these is obviously the U-bolts come super long, so you got to cut them off so you can keep using the impact, because I don't use a wrench because I don't have time for that. And then I'm probably gonna have to do something here. I don't know if it comes with brackets for this or not, but you know, it's just an e-brake. I don't really give a shit. So eventually we'll figure that out. I just fucking ripped that bad boy down through there. That's custom, so I think we're good. We're gonna get these tires thrown on now. So another problem you're gonna have is jacks. It's fucking useless. You're gonna have to get a big block of wood or something, because I mean, I'm like 17 feet tall, and this is like at my ass cheek, so.
You're 6'3", right?
Yeah. This is a really tall truck. So anyway, you're gonna need something that has a lot of travel on for a jack, and then also you're probably gonna want, I can't remember, I think they're 12-ton jack stands are the big ones. My dad had some for working on equipment, but they're like folded down, they're like this tall, so that would probably be best for this. I can't even use my 6,000 or my 6-ton or whatever they are, my medium-sized ones on this, because the frame is just, I mean, this high, and then they max out at like right here, so pretty useless. But luckily, once you get it on, you don't really have to worry about, you know, jacking it up from the frame. Now I can just jack it up from the axle.
Hmm. 6'3".
Bro, what the fuck?